How they use psychology to become millionaires. B.F. Skinner never imagined that his small laboratory experiments would one day shape the structure of modern society. When he trained pigeons with unpredictable rewards, he was trying to understand how learning and behavior work. Those experiments were meant for science, not for profit. But over time, his ideas quietly transformed from a psychological study into a global business strategy. The same mechanisms he used to train animals now shape how billions of people behave every day. If you scroll through social media, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. Notifications, likes, and comments don't appear at fixed times. They arrive unpredictably, creating a loop that keeps you checking, waiting, craving. This randomness is not an accident. It's a carefully designed psychological trap. Companies have turned Skinner's methods into massive behavioral systems. You are not simply using apps. The apps are using you. Your attention has become a product, your time a currency, and your behavior a predictable pattern in someone else's business model. We like to believe that our actions online are free choices, but in reality, we follow invisible trails designed to guide us. The same principles that taught animals to press levers for food now train humans to chase notifications, discounts, and digital approval. It's not about forcing decisions. It's about shaping instincts so deeply that choice feels natural, even when it's not. Corporations use psychological triggers like FOMO, the fear of missing out, timed messages, and reward systems to make sure your reaction happens without thought. This strategy is not new. It began decades ago with Skinner's work, but today it has been refined with extraordinary precision. The modern millionaire doesn't need to convince you logically. He simply builds an environment that guides your behavior. When the system controls the context, your response becomes automatic. Over time, this constant conditioning erodes personal autonomy. People stop being driven by their own inner desires and start responding to stimuli designed to make them act on command. Edward Bernays, the nephew of Sigmund Freud, took this kind of manipulation to a new level. While Freud explored the unconscious, Bernays weaponized it. He understood that humans are not primarily moved by logic, but by emotions, fears, and insecurities. He used this insight to shape public opinion. Bernays didn't just sell products, he sold meanings. Cigarettes became freedom. Cars became status. Buying something was never just about the product. It was about identity, belonging, and desire. What Bernays created was more than marketing. It was psychological engineering. He showed how carefully crafted stories can control collective behavior without anyone noticing. His most famous campaign, where he branded cigarettes as torches of freedom for women, was not about selling tobacco but about hijacking a social movement. He staged a moment, attached a product to a symbol, and made people believe they were choosing liberation when they were only consuming a story. This method didn't stay in advertising. It spread to every corner of society. Politics learned the same lesson. Politicians became brands. Campaigns became carefully designed narratives. Slogans replaced ideas. Voters turned into audiences, and elections became performances. The public felt like it was choosing freely, but the range of choices was already shaped by those in power. Real control didn't need force. It only needed influence at the subconscious level. Carl Jung helps us understand why these narratives work so well. He believed that our minds are shaped by deep symbols and archetypes that exist across cultures. One of the most powerful archetypes in modern society is the self-made millionaire. This figure is imagined as the hero who conquered adversity, the magician who controls fate, the one who transformed himself through power and will. Society elevates this image, and people begin to measure their worth against it. It becomes less about living authentically and more about becoming part of a myth. But every archetype casts a shadow. The light of success hides greed, fear of vulnerability, and emotional emptiness. When we internalize the millionaire archetype, we stop listening to our inner needs and chase an image built by culture, not by the self. Wealth becomes not a goal, but a symbol of being enough. Social media, brands, and self-help empires exploit this hunger for symbolic meaning. People begin to live like actors in someone else's script, chasing a vision of success that often leaves them empty inside. Herbert Marcuse warned that modern capitalism doesn't just meet needs, it manufactures them. It blurs the line between what we truly need and what we've been trained to want. This confusion feeds endless consumption. Even resistance is turned into a product. Rebellion is packaged, branded, and sold back to the same people trying to escape it. Everything from authenticity to mindfulness can be commercialized. The result is a loop of desire and dissatisfaction. People crave something they can never fully get, because what they're chasing was never real to begin with. Daniel Kahneman showed how our minds make quick, emotional decisions based on shortcuts rather than deep thinking. Companies use these shortcuts to guide behavior without us realizing it. Limited time offers, infinite scroll, red notification dots, one-click purchases, they are all designed to take advantage of mental biases. We feel free while being quietly nudged toward predictable actions. The more predictable we are, the easier it is to make money from us. This kind of control is so subtle that it often goes unnoticed. We think we're deciding, we're really reacting. Over time, we lose the habit of questioning our desires. We confuse what we want with what we've been trained to want. And because this system rewards us just enough, we rarely stop to notice the cage. The truth is that much of what we call freedom is carefully designed influence. The millionaires who benefit from this system are not always inventors or visionaries. They are students of human nature. They know how attention works, how emotion works, how desire can be planted and harvested. They turn psychological insight into wealth, and we call it genius. But the real cost of this system is not just our money. It's our attention, our inner clarity, and our sense of self. When we no longer question why we want something, when we let algorithms and brands shape our desires, we slowly give away our freedom without realizing it.